delegates continue to crisscross the country in a bid to get the mandate of the delegates. Part of the contest to be on the lookout for is the NASARA position of the New Patriotic Party. One man is in studio with me, Abdul Rahman Diallo. He believes that the delegates must entrust him with that position of being the NASARA coordinator, so he'll be able to turn the fortunes of the party around within that constituency. Thank you so much, Diallo, for your time. It's good to see you after a very long time. You've gone into hiding, have you?
Not that much.
Right.
Actually, we are behind the scene doing a whole lot of things to put together a very favorable contest to which we've actually put together all these things in support of the party.
But the contest happening this weekend, how confident are you that the delegates will give you that opportunity to serve as NASARA coordinator?
Well, I'm very confident because there's a lot of things that I have done within the party and will do and aspire to do that will make the candidates, the delegates, very comfortable in the run-up of this particular election. In fact, I've toured around the country, I've spoken to people, and I've contributed a lot. Because I started 32 years ago as a photographer to President Kufuor, which is
oh, really?
quite a lot. Yes. I was the family photographer.
So you've been around ever since?
Absolutely. And I've been very loyal to the cause.
For those who may not know about your service to the New Patriotic Party, what concretely can you point to say, well, this is what I've done, particularly for the NASARA constituents? These are people that I'm sure you're conversant with. What are you able to point to them that, well, I've done A and B, and for this reason, you should give me that opportunity to run?
I'm an animator, I'm a website designer, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a photographer.
Right.
And I'm a visionary person as well. Basically, I view the concept that His Excellency the President raised the MP's hands to promote the good standing between the parliamentary candidate and the aspirant.
Right.
And I did it for 3 elections, which I can say on authority. We have about 48,000 billboards across the country. And I supported the party in that direction.
Wow. So that's what you've been doing in terms of giving your technical support to the party?
Absolutely. And more so, every single project of the party that needs to be highlighted to the rest of the world, I do. And since my production, my working with President Kufuor as his photographer, even at the presidency, there's a lot of media houses that cut across that I have basically sent the videos, the pictures, the write-up to them
So what you mean to tell us is that you've been projecting the party in a good light ever since the 2000 when of course you were in power. Absolutely. But beyond that, your NASARA constituents would want to know what plans you have for them and what message you are even selling to them in the first place ahead of that crucial elections this weekend.
Well, I created the Zango for NPP, which is a wing of under Samia Wuku. It's part of the volunteer group.
Right.
In 2020, for instance, what we did was that I collaborated with Global Medical Team and we did health screening almost the entire country. What we actually do was to narrate the goodwill of the party, how people should take care of their health being a very vital aspect of life, and quite a lot of things that I do. But basically, as I speak to you, for me to be the NASARA coordinator, I have put together my 32 years experience with President Kufuor because I meet all kind of characters that come to him. I take their complimentary cards, I take their pictures, I give it to them through whatever means that they have to have. So I have learned and studied a lot. So
you have been working for the party, except
Absolutely.
that you've not been out there. Your name, your
Sure.
face hasn't been out there. But this is a post or a contest that is not drawing a lot of attention. And you know that so well, that the NASARA position, when it comes to that side, a lot of people within the party don't really focus on it. What are you going to do to change that narrative around the position?
Basically, I have registered, as I speak to you, 117 entities under Zango. And I want to change the narrative in the Zango. The reason being that most often than not, people will actually associate Zango with some very bad stuff,
Right.
violence and all that. But let's take it for Zango Food. These are some of the registered companies that I have with the Zango.
So you've registered some organizations, for instance?
Absolutely.
Just to improve
117 to
companies,
make sure we
right.
create employment. And the household name goes, the Zango should be a household name across board. Because, for instance, when we do Zango Food, for instance, everybody knows our Tuozafi, our Wache, our Tubani and that. It's a very nice thing. Why don't we do a franchise with it so that the girls can put on their hijab, their abaya, and sell the food in a very dignified way?
I'm glad that you're talking about this because, for instance, over the weekend, the president was at the celebration, the Eid celebration that you did, where he talked about his reiterating his commitment to developing the Zongos. The belief is that the promises you made to the Zongo communities as the New Patriotic Party, you have not fulfilled many of them. Is that a correct
We have
assertion?
2 years, and I can assure you as a NASARA coordinator, the programs that I will put across will help bring back even the Zango ministry.
Yeah, but many would say that you've lost that opportunity as a party, haven't you? You made so many promises. For instance, the Zongo Development Fund was part of the issues that you brought up as a political party to change the situation in the Zongos, but you haven't done much ever since, isn't it?
Well, with the Zango Development Fund, they've done a lot. Probably the communication hasn't gone down well, but they've dug a lot of boreholes, they built a lot of schools, they've done quite a lot of massive projects for the Zongos, especially when Boniface was the minister for Zango. They put together a lot of astroturf all across Zongos. Some of the roads that were initiated through those projects. So the Zango ministry and the Zango Development Fund has really done a lot of services to the Zango. But what we also need to do is to hit the ground running by creating employment opportunity straight to the Zango people so that basically their lives will change, the narrative are going to change in all spheres. That's why I've gone ahead to do this 117 companies under Zango so that we will bring to bear quite a lot of things that has to be done with regards to the upliftment of the Zango.
You have just 2 days to the elections. How many have you been around the country, and
Yes.
what are you picking up from the grounds? The belief is that your grassroots, the grassroots of the NPP, are not too happy with the reorganization process.
Well, in every institution or organization, you will have people who are not content with certain structural things that comes into being. But I first believe that with this kind of massive employment project that I'm going to do, I can assure you within the 2 years, we're going to create more than 200,000 jobs.
Are you just mentioning figures to us? We've heard the figures before.
Absolutely. You've heard figures before, but these are practical things that we are bringing on board. Something that will really, really change the narrative. And that's what we are bringing on board. So watch out for a very massive employment scheme that we are putting across.
Okay.
All related to Zango.
Right. We'll be wrapping up. Let me give you the opportunity. Delegates are watching. I'm sure that some other persons who would want to know you more ahead of that election are watching. What will be your final message to them? And what will be the message?
I wish I can mention a few of the companies that have been established. Right. We have Zango app here. The Zango app is just like the Uber services.
Okay, so what you mean to say is that you've even started rolling out what you have promised already?
Exactly.
Even before the elections?
Yes. The Zango app actually with an Uber services. Currently, as you speak to you, we are negotiating for about 300 cars to start with. And we are not going to collect deposit from anybody. We are giving them the cars to work and pay maybe for a period of 5 years. Because when you put down a figure that people should pay this much before they can access, it means only the rich can pay and give it to the gentleman who is good enough to drive but doesn't have the resources just to train him. And this is some of the things that helps to create the adage, property owning democracy, a system whereby you create the environment that becomes so conducive that people can have access to things that they can do and own up. These are some of the things. As I speak to you, the concept is being looked at by a gentleman in Nigeria, who wants to take the franchise in Nigeria. We cannot allow Uber, Yango, and others to be taken over by only the
So what you intend to do is to expand it
Absolutely.
so that more and more people...
We have Zango Construction, we have Zango Multimedia, we have Zango Food, we have Zango Schools. This is the time that we need to have our own schools.
Well,
our children...
And all of these companies have been registered and certified. That's why you're bringing
and these are Zango Beverages, Zango Housing. The Zango Housing is a very beautiful project. We want to put that. We've located about 58 different spaces, to which we are doing a 4-story building with the down being a crèche, and the 3-story being a place that we will give it to our young men and women who are kaya youths, so that they can have a link by Zango Transport taking them to the industries for work to and fro.
So it looks like there's a lot coming up, but let's see what the delegates will say, I mean, during the weekend. But I'm giving you a minute to send that message across to them.
Fellow delegates, I'm Abdul Rahman Diallo, the longest serving aspirant in this particular contest. 32 years with the party, very loyal to the party, and I have the goodwill to establish a very great facilities like the Zango Abattoir and others, so that at the end of the day, no one will be left out by saying we didn't get a job, we didn't get a job. At least what you take care of yourself as a human being will be taken care of. Because I believe very well that we all need to live in dignity, with respect and all that. And I'll bring sanity that prevails within the party structure using the NASARA system. So watch out, the NASARA is going to be the money bag of the party.
All right then, and that's Abdul Rahman Diallo there for you.